Hey awesome people, welcome to Next Generation Live, hashtag Next Generation Live. I'm so excited to continue our discussion on the topic of the week, which is what is identity and how do we define ourselves? So what truly is identity? Identity in its most simplest definition is who we are. So when we ask ourselves what is identity, we're really asking ourselves what is who we are? How do we define who we are? Which is the second question of the topic of the week. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about the fact that most of us define ourselves with external experiences or external things instead of defining ourselves with the reality of who we truly are. Our true identity has nothing to do with the outside forces. Our true identity has nothing to do with everything on the external. It has everything to do with the internal, because our true selves is not our physical body. So everything that we use to define ourselves, that society uses as a definition of who we are, that's external, really can't describe who we are to its fullest. Most people try to use, like I said yesterday, a lot of people try to use different things about how they look, the shape of their body, where they're from physically, their skin color, their money status, the items and materials that they hold or possess, the careers that they have. I even, when you think about it, people even ask like, who are you or where are you from? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself. And the very first answer is usually a career, what they do. But what we do is not who we are. What we do is a result of who we are, but it doesn't define who we are. So who we truly are has to deal with something from the inside, something that's far greater than anything on the outside. And the Bible says, that our God is bigger on the inside. The God we have on the inside is bigger than anything that's outside of us. And that is because our true identity comes from God who lives inside of us. But he, in Genesis 1:26, he himself created us in his image, in his likeness. And he didn't create our physical bodies in his image and his likeness. He created our internal bodies, the spirit beings that we have, the soul that we have, that's all created in his image and in his likeness. And that's who we truly are. So when we ask what is identity, we're not asking what do you do for a living. We're not asking who do you want to portray yourself as for identity. We're not asking what name brand clothes do you wear, what people do you hang out with, what school do you want to go to, what status are you looking for. None of those things are the question that we're asking. When we're asking what is identity, we're asking who are you? Who are you? Who are you truly down deep inside? Who are you? And throughout this week and several weeks to come, we're going to be talking a lot about identity. We're going to be breaking down the stigmas of what identity seems to be in society and opening up and breaking through those walls and those barriers into what identity truly is and where it truly comes from, which is God, our source and sustainer, our creator, the one who loved us so much that he created us in his image and gave us the ability to be that image here on the earth on his behalf, and loves us greatly enough to say, you are mine and I love you. So without further ado, I'm going to close out today, and I just want you guys to reflect on all the things and prepare for tomorrow's demonstration, but reflect on all the things that maybe we have used as masks, as external things to define who we are. Think about those things, write them down, bring them to the next live tomorrow, which I think is going to be in the evening. Just keep your eyes open and watch, but write those things down. Put them in the chat box along the way tomorrow during the session, and we're going to have a demonstration that kind of shows us a little bit more in visual form of what it looks like to mask ourselves and define ourselves on the external instead of on the internal. Let's remind ourselves we are living from the inside out, not the outside in. Love you guys, and I'll see you guys at the top.